Welcome back, everybody. Wild Willie here, episode 2 of my Paladin of Marika build, combining the melee of the Dreadnought class with the spellcasting abilities, faith spellcasting abilities of the Fundamentalist and the Dragon Cultist. So did a little bit of setup in episode 1, ran around and grabbed some stuff. Now we have our faint runes. Next up is where to get the rest of the stuff. So for the Fundamentalist, we get the shimmering rune from Fort Haight, the glowing rune from Castle Moor. And then for the Dragon Cultist, we get the shimmering rune in Morn Tunnel, which will take us to Castle Morn. So that looks like it should be our next step. And we have our Gravelstone Seal, which we can use to cast both Holy and Lightning incantations, so we're kind of set there. We have the Leaden Maul already, which is one of our weapons. I grabbed the Fingerprint Seal, don't need that. But that one would be good for fire, but weak for Holy and only moderate for Lightning. So we're going with that. Don't have the stats to use it because I don't have jack for points in faith. Because we started as a Dreadnought, that's going to be kind of the priority. And I just grabbed this because it gives me a weapon with bleed to kill Grail. And then, you know, this is just something else to have. But right now we have our strike weapon, concussive smash on the Leaden Maul, so we'll be rocking with that. And let's just get going. So next stop is going to be back over here. We can grab a Combat Remnant from here. And then we can head over to Fort Haight. Hopefully I can take out the knight without too much trouble, because he's going to be the one that has our rune. So let me make it morning. Got another golden seed and sacred tear. We will be back here momentarily to head to Caelid. Fort Haight is still going to be best early farm spot. Head there to take out Grail, and then you can stand in the doorway of Fort Haight, which I'll show you by the end of the episode, so we can pick up some levels in faith. And trigger a fight, and then just kind of passively collect runes. So if you're ever close to a level and you need like 10,000 runes, it's a quick way to do that. Grab that from you. That's all the sellsword stuff. Grab that from you guys. Just what we need, a bunch of screaming demi-humans. And there's Blythe. And this is super nice because we can run around Mr. Bear here and pick up all of his stuff. Iframe off a torrent. Come in here and grab ourselves a Combat Remnant. Now we just gotta get out of here. I forget where he is, so I'm always looking. I know it's not this dude, but the one I really want to find again is the Survivalist Merchant, and that one has the bell bearing for all the boluses. And you just have kind of random stuff. Alright, so let's head for the fort. I'm gonna run in and grab the golden seed. And then drop down and grab the Site of Grace. And then we'll attack the castle proper. Want to do some remnant crafting. And we got another golden seed, so we're going to be at what? Plus 5 and 1. That sounds about right. So flask, charge to flask, remnant crafting. All right, so first up, warding remnant. I always recommend that you start out with Taker's Cameo, HP, HP, and stamina upon defeating enemies. So you're healing as you're killing stuff, getting FP and stamina back. So regardless of what kind of class you're playing, that's very useful. Enchanted Remnant. Oh, duh. Yeah, Enchanted Remnant, the first one there is always going to be Gold Scarab. And then let's see, Combat Remnant, what do we got? Probably going to be two-handing a lot, so I might want to just pick that one up. Erdtree's Favor is also a good one. I feel like that's an Enchanted Remnant. The Convergence Mod is very forgiving for equip load, so you don't really need the Great Jars. It's nice to have more HP, more stamina, and more equip load. So yeah, why not? Let's grab the two-handed sword talisman. And then let's equip all those. You get all 4 of your talisman slots. So I'm going to start with you, never take you off. Put you on, and then put you on. And our weapon art is infinite hyper armor, it seems like, and then you do that. So I'll just be trying to chain that on the one knight here in the fort. Might try to bait him up the ladder and then deal with him there. Uninterrupted. Alright, so let's trigger all these guys, get everybody moving down. Yeah, everybody come and get me. Come on. You know you want some. That was not great. Same deal as before, they're going to be chucking shit at us. Oh, why am I fat rolling shit? Alright, well that's not ideal, but good to know. Went right past that dude. Alright, hopefully the knight follows me. Yep, here he comes. Come on, buddy. And we're just going to lock onto him and concussive smash him into oblivion. Is the plan. Forget what's in here, but we'll grab it. That might be what we're after. Yep. So I don't even need to fight you, but... Up, and he killed me. Okay. Well, I got my rune. So honestly, I'm done with that. Let's go back up here to the third church and head to Caelid. And when I go north, just gonna jump out the window. And no, do you want to go to another destination? It's just going to warp you. One word of advice is, like, if you're not sure where you're going or what's on the other side, be ready for a fight. Because there are some locations where you get warped in and you are dumped into the middle of, you know, an enemy who's going to be right on top of you. So you have been warned. Funny, we can ride Torn around in here now. Gargoyle's gone. He's moved around the back. He's one of the ways you can get to Farum Azula. You can also do an imbued sword key at the 4 belfries and travel to that one section of Farum Azula that used to be cut off, but now it's connected. And I've got one other playthrough that I'm going. It's like episode 40 of my Spirit Storm Summoner build. Combining the Necromancer and the Stormcaller. Totally cracked, by the way. Very OP. Really enjoying that one. That's the only one I've done it on. And that was a little rough the first time around. Not gonna lie. So I'm just gonna ride past you. Come on, spin around. That worked well. The ball farm is still here too, by the way. Might go down there and just grab that and not do the ball farm, but grab the memory stone and then loot the graveyard. But let me just head over there to get rid of the music for Grael. Grael. Otherwise, we're the whole time. Very cinematic. But not terribly cinematic when you're not fighting the dragon. Just running through its legs. Thanks, but no thanks. So where are we at class-wise? 7 and 1 and +4. Let's get our memory stone. And you can go to the round table whenever. You do not need Melina to take you there. And then the map is also fully unlocked. No map markers. I think I mentioned that already. And there's nothing at the map marker spots, which is a little disappointing. It would have been nice if they had put something there that we could go pick up. Alright, so there's Memory Stone number 2. Go back to the Grace, and then we're heading to Fort Haight. So smithing weapons, you need 6 per level. There's like regular, large, great, and then colossal. Baldekin's Blessing, that just lets me summon without getting the debuff. So if I wanted to summon if I were just playing as the Dreadnought, I could summon and not get debuffed. Otherwise, you lose a bunch of stats that kind of go towards your summon. Pick up all the Fergal Bloom. So I need one more point of stamina, and then I'm just going to be dumping points, I think, into Faith. So here's the new Fort Haight. Notice the entrance is a little bit redone. Grail's still here like she always is. Can farm her like you always do. You just have to ride around here and hop up and hop off to get to the Grace, but you can farm her repeatedly, which is why I went and got the 2 gold pickle foul feet, because I usually farm her twice and then kill her the 3rd time. And that gives me my setup rune. So anyway, we just triggered a big old brawl, and you can run in there and get involved if you want. There's a really good spirit summons you can get in here if you clear it all the way out. the boss at the top, and you can get another warding remnant. But what we're here for is to just stand here in the doorway with our gold pickle Foulfoot, and you can see the runes pouring in. You started at nothing, so you can see how, you know, it adds up fairly quickly. And you can just kind of watch. There's some Kindred of Rot, the pest thread centipede dudes fighting some Redmane knights, some shambling corpses, and some dogs. The two that you really want to watch out for is there are two Redmane knights and some Redmane soldiers. The Redmane knights are worth 1,112 each. There was one of them right there. So that's what I always like to watch for. Or if it just really slows down, the fighting really slows down, then I'll just go ahead and rest. See, like, we have somebody like clinging to life over here to the left. And it was another knight, so definitely worth waiting for that. So let me get one more endurance. And now faith is up to 12. So let's see. More endurance, more strength, more faith, basically, and then pump vigor. So let's do it again. You kind of get the idea. Where I'm going to go from here is right out to the west. I got some marks I'm going to get rid of. And you can hear the runes coming in and the HP. That's the HP regen and FP regen and stamina regen for my Taker's cameo. So we're going to head out to the Church of the Plague. And then we are going to ride down to Celia Town to grab another Crystal Tear and a Site of Grace outside of the Celia Crystal Tunnel, which is, again, like, I won't call it a legacy dungeon, but it's definitely more of a dungeon because it's got, like, an outer courtyard that's got a couple sections you got to fight through, and then the dungeon itself, you get to the Falling Star Beast, which is one portion, and then there's a second portion that if you work through, it'll take you to Estelle, which is another keystone holder of the fort. She's one of the second ones, or it is. Don't know if Estelle is a boy or a girl or whatever, and I don't really care, so don't get upset about it. One, and one. That's just lovely. Okay. So yeah, vigor. Let me get 3,000 vigor just so we can see how much return. You do not get good return on vigor. It's not like the soft caps from the base game where you're getting good vigor up to 40 and then you're still getting good returns to 60. I forget at some point, like, I feel like you just get 20 per level even before 40. So it's like you get 10 levels of vigor, you're only getting 200 points of health, which isn't great. So let's see if we can get like 6,000 worth in runes. Catch a couple levels and see what we're getting per level of vigor. Somebody just got hit by a pest thread, and it was the knight. So again, glad I waited. All right, let's see where we're at. I'll grab a couple more levels. Regardless of what I can get, we're leaving after this. You guys get the idea. So HP 675, 690. We're getting 15 per level. And then 706, so that's 16. So yeah, really bad. Not good returns at all. And then I need like 400. God, and then Grail's going bonkers. I need 400 to show you just how quickly that comes in. And this is why I'm standing here at the Grace, because you can see that one dog is there. If you're standing by the door, they will take notice of you. And then come out and try and, you know, mix it up with you. And if you're just here, you know, checking your messages or whatever and don't want to deal with that. So we just got 15 for that one, and then it'll be interesting to see what we get after that. Anyway, out of here. Dragons are already going to be up. The baby dragons, they get up fairly quickly and aggro fairly quickly. Like once she starts hollering, they are looking for you and they're angry. So they should be up. I'll show you on the way down. Just grabbing some smithing stones up here. That's a large, and then we should get a colossal right here. Or no, great. Larges are +5, greats are +7, and then colossal are +9. So done with that. Another starlight shard if you want it. I just grabbed the one in the first episode because it was steering me away from some other grief that I did not need to deal with. Same thing with Millicent. She's here. You don't need to do her quest line and then kill her. If you want her prosthesis, you can just remnant craft it. Alright, so let's grab our sacred tier. Or use our sacred tier. Increase our flasks, so where are we at? +5, and then we have 8 flasks at +5. Not bad. And then I would swing out wide because they're the two kindred beasts out front, and they also have an enhanced aggro zone. They will aggro sooner. Get away out of the way of the ball. And you can kind of see, well, I need to get a little further down. All the new stuff. And there's another ball coming for me. More undead spawning. I'm still heavy load. Why am I still heavy load? So anyway, you can see like castle wall and everything new and different, and I'm dead. Alright, so I'm gonna pause the video and I'm gonna run back and just grab that golden seed and grab a grace, and then we'll continue. Or we can start at a stake. Let's see where this takes us. Curious. Okay, yeah, this isn't great. Alright, so yeah, I'm going to pause the video and we'll take the other way back down again, and hopefully I won't miss my branch and we'll continue. Alright, so I'm back. I made it to the Celia Undertown site of Grace. You can see the new outer area kind of castle wall for the Celia Tunnel. You need to open one of the seal puzzles in the town itself to unlock that gate to proceed into the dungeon. So next up, just gonna run by where the Somber 8 and Somber 9 were. Grab the Site of Grace so I can go back. Those should both be like colossal sombers. And this is what I mean about the dragons are up and out to get me. So somber weapons have a lot of great abilities in this game, 1 through 10, and you can go to +15 by getting Shadow Sombers in the DLC, which you can unlock by murdering an Erdtree network avatar. And then you can travel anywhere, but you have to beat the avatar on the other end in order to unlock the area. So large somber, another gold pickled falcon. I was wondering where I picked that up from. I was like, why do I have 3 when I was looking at one of my other playthroughs? Another playthrough I'm working on is Oracle of the Mists. Ooh, that ain't particularly great. Nothing insurmountable though. So just grabbing the grace for later. And I forget what that area is called, that ruins, but again, like beefed up, new content, go explore. Let's head back over to the Stormhill Shack. Heartbroken Maiden. I kind of wanted you to move along there, Roderica. I might have to go to the round table to get her to move. She's still here.
Did you give the little that I love them? Did you give that I love?
Okay, so that was a different message. Let's just ride up to Liurnia real quick. You do come in a different place going to Liurnia. You don't have to loop around. The bridge has been restored. And you'll see what I mean in a second here. There's another armor set we can grab along the way. And you don't need the Rhea Lucaria key anymore. None of that. You don't need the Dectus medallion halves. Vanguard. Let me look at my stats. Heavy load. I need another enchanted remnant and I need to craft. What is it that I'm carrying that's making me heavy load? Is it just this? Maybe we're just heavy load to start out with in this class. So if I'm already heavy load, I'm just going to put this back on. Now that I have 13 faith, I might actually be able to use it. Sorry, buddy, not here for you. Just riding up along the road here, there should be a grace that we can grab, and then I want to go down into the lake to work my way back up to the one church to grab another sacred tear, and then that should be it. Let's just see if there's like a little coffin thingies I can hop down, or a spirit spring. Because otherwise I would have just wrapped up. I think we might need to head over here. Yep. And there's one weapon that we can grab too, the scythe, that I believe is a Dreadnought weapon, so we'll do that as well, and then we'll wrap up. Go talk to you.
You're surprised, no matter. Why don't you? Oh, don't.
Would you sell a very expensive lantern? I'll be getting the Caelid version. Only 200. So just right up the hill, right through the little encampment, right up to the church, and then the graveyard right next door has the scythe. So I'll grab that. Cuckoo Great Shield. Probably grab the scythe first, since it's right here. Should be. Where's scythe? Then I'm gonna run into the church, grab this. Grab the sacred tear, talk to you. I forget.
Believe it or not, for us. Well, you're a true. My name, presuming you're only.
Alright, so he doesn't have anything I want, although that would be good for a mage playthrough. So let's just grab the grace. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up here. I'm just going to ride over and grab the grace. You guys don't need to see that. So catch you all in the next episode. I'm going to do a bunch of more setup and we'll go from there, actually doing content.